Hello, welcome back to Walk to Cinema Podcast. This week's episode is going to be Bicycle Thieves.
So Bicycle Thieves, I got the Criterion version for you for Christmas.
Thank you,
year.
I appreciate it.
So this was our use of the gift I got you.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty classic movie. I think it's number 102 on the Letterboxd Top 250 narrative features.
This is a movie that's always on, lists. Top lists. I think this is the Sight and Sound number 1 of all time. I know, a lot of directors put it on their lists, and it's pretty obvious why. It is really good.
Yeah, it is good.
It's probably one of the best examples of individual suffering with the background of a wider suffrage. And it plays off of that, especially with the ending.
Yeah, but we'll get to the ending, I think, a little later.
This is, an early example of neorealism, which is a big movement in Italy, and we're going to be covering more of those when we do a whole month of Fellini.
Yeah, so you gotta be on the lookout for that one.
Yeah, if you like Italian neorealism, you gotta subscribe now and wait for the Fellini episodes. There's gonna be 4 episodes on Fellini, so let's look into the future.
Yeah, it's a lot of Fellini.
Yeah. But this is not Fellini. This is De Sica, right? And he's done a lot. This is regarded as his number 1 movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think the essay we read that came with the booklet on the Criterion Collection kind of talks about how it's similar to what Citizen Kane is to Orson Welles. Bicycle Thieves is to De Sica.
Yeah, they did make mention of that. And also just it talked about the neorealism movement and what this meant, I guess. It came out in, 1940?
I think it's 48.
48? So it was a post-war World War
But it's not
movie.
really post... it's post the World War finishing, but they're still recovering from the war, so it's not it's immediate post-war and not...
Yeah, but it's still post-World War too, and the effects of, kind of being on the losing side and not their economy hadn't recovered at this point either.
And this was made in real time.
Yeah.
So this is what they were going through. I know that the main actor was not a real actor, a trained actor is amateur. And I know after the movie he did not have a job to go to. So what he portrayed in the movie is not too far from his actual reality.
Yeah, they couldn't just make jobs out of thin air. Was their thing.
There was no jobs for everyone. And yeah, the main actor actually lived through that. That was his reality. Mm-hmm. So
I did see that he was in some other things though, so I don't know if it was before or after this.
The movie was successful. It was immediately recognized as being super important. I know he got an honorary Oscar 2 years after it came out. So it was very immediate reaction to its quality.
Well, I think that it has a very deep story in a sense that you're only really focused on our main character's life and his struggles.
Yeah.
Where the bicycle is his only thing that he has that's to his name. They sold the sheets off their bed so that he could
they sold everything they had, yeah.
So that he could have the job that would pay him.
Yeah.
And, when the bike gets stolen and his, pursuit of all these, of trying to find the man that stole the bike and, just the guy getting away from him, the old man that won't tell him any information.
The desperation of it all.
Yeah, you start to feel hatred towards the bike thief. And it comes to his, story.
Yeah.
But when you see how the bike thief lives, it's not too far off from...
It's probably worse.
Yeah, because he has, I would assume something epilepsy or like some type of seizure disorder from like his fit that he had after being confronted. And he lives in a 1-bedroom house with 2 younger siblings and a mother.
Yeah.
So like he probably went through a desperation
life
as well.
What the movie shows is that life was hard for everyone.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it makes you feel, because you're focused on the main character, like you said. And you think he's being unjustly treated, but then you realize everyone else is going through the same.
Yeah.
So his suffering is not bigger than anyone else.
It just sucks, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it sucks because, like, when we were watching the movie, I was, you know, thinking of what I was going to say or how to react to this, and I was, like, I felt anger at the bike thief because, you know, it's difficult. It's difficult because you think he's just being kind of crass, that he just wants money or whatever. But then you see, like, you start to understand that, like, you don't live in a vacuum. Like, yeah. He probably stole it because he was in a similar desperate situation. So it's like you can't. It's hard to be mad at somebody even though, like, the situation sucks.
But at the end, you see the main character do the same thing.
Yeah.
Where he's so desperate that he just tries to steal a bike, and you realize why the original thief did it, and you realize that the person he stole from is in the exact same situation where all he has is a bicycle. But that person decides not to prosecute him right at the end because he knows that the reason he stole the bicycle in the first place is because that was his last choice.
Yeah.
So this is a lot of emotional layers that come off slowly. Like you slowly this kind of reminds me of Arakiri, which we haven't discussed, you haven't seen, but we will eventually make an episode about it, I would assume. Where the you feel something and then you start to take the layers out of the emotions and you understand why everyone did everything. And I think I saw someone say, like, even the most cold-hearted people get emotional at this movie.
Yeah, it definitely makes you feel, like, I don't know. For me, I do experience movies in, like, a very emotional type of way. So, you know, it's frustrating to sit here and watch it and not, like, it was frustrating for me to sit here and not be able to do anything, you know?
Yeah, you feel like...
you feel helpless. You feel like the same situation that the characters are in.
You just want to do something for him.
Yeah. But you can't because it's a movie. And,
yeah.
You know, I even started saying, like, it's just a movie. It's just a movie. Like, these people are fine.
It is just a movie, but that's the neorealism of it that makes you feel... Like, this literally did happen to a lot of people. And then the acting in it, a lot of amateur actors, a lot of just circumstantial things. I know that when the kid almost gets run over a couple times, that was not supposed to happen. The kid falling, I'm not sure if that was supposed to happen either. So there's a lot of elements of reality in it.
Well, I thought that the final part where he's gonna get, like, he almost gets run over by 2 cars, and, like, the dad's, like, just keeps trucking along. I feel like, in a way, that kind of shows that Richie, that's his last name, right? He has legitimately given up, like, hope.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't care anymore. Like, he can't, it's not that he doesn't care, it's just that he doesn't have the ability to even function at this point.
Well, the bicycle and the job were more than just that. There were the difference between providing for his family a semi-decent life and having absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
There was no middle ground. You couldn't wait another week to get another job. That was it.
Yeah.
That was all he had to fall into, was the job. That he was going to work extra hours so they could...
have extra money.
Yeah, they could live pretty alright. And then, if it doesn't have it, they don't have food, they don't have sheets, they don't have anything in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the reality of war in general. Like, post-war life in general sucks. Like in the United States, we saw that with Vietnam, and it's still happening. Like a lot of people that served in Vietnam still don't have what they had before they left.
Yeah, I think because, like, at least with that war in the United States, like, a lot of people were against it. And so when these soldiers came back, you know, they weren't treated they weren't treated with dignity, I'll say.
Yeah, even though they hadn't a choice. Like, they just got drafted into this war.
Yeah, some people did, sign up, but, a lot of people did, were drafted, and that's legitimately against their choice. And, a lot of them today don't have, like, access to health care. I mean, they have the VA, but the VA is kind of a little lackluster sometimes.
But that's a different
conversation.
Yeah, maybe when we do a Scorsese, or we do Apocalypse Now, or I know Scorsese hated the Vietnam War as well, so
yeah. But with this movie, you do get a sense of what Italian life was like, and I've been watching a lot of Italian cinema.
That's my fault. I'm sorry.
As of late, and like none of them are happy. I don't think I've watched a single Italian movie lately that has had an air of happiness ending,
And we haven't even seen It's a Beautiful Life.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, is that
No, it's Life is Beautiful.
Sorry, yeah. We haven't even seen Life is Beautiful, so that's gonna make it real sad.
Yeah, I get the premise of it, but I haven't seen it yet. But we'll see. We'll see if I cry. I didn't cry at this one, but it was close.
Yeah.
Just because you just get a sense of dread. Because, we leave the characters worse off than where we found them.
Oh, definitely.
For the most part.
Yeah. Because there was still hope.
Yeah, they still had hope
in the beginning. Yeah. At the end, there was, like, no real hope that we could see.
Because at least he only pawned the bike.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had the option to buy it back. Now the bike's just gone.
Yeah.
And they don't have...
The job's gone.
Yeah, the job's gone.
The kid saw what he did. We saw that everyone else is going through the same stuff. So, yeah. It's pretty hopeless at the end.
Yeah, and you just kind of... I don't know, at least for me, I just kind of hope that things... get better, because sometimes I think about, like, oh, what happens after the end of the movie, which is, like, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I don't know. I just kind of hope that in this universe of where this movie exists, that maybe like things got better.
The Sika has made other post-war movies. I'm specifically thinking of Two Women, and I feel like that's even more hopeless.
Yeah.
There's a specific scene that everyone remembers when they watch this that is very problematic, I guess. I dislike it personally. I don't know if we can say the R word.
Yeah,
without getting this taken down from certain platforms.
Yeah. I'd just leave it at that. This is the only movie I'd seen from the director.
So far,
yeah.
There's enough interest, we can do Two Women or Umberto D.
Right. And more sad Italian films.
More sad Italian films. I love those.
I mean, I do think, this is definitely, like, I would say an influential movie and definitely worth watching.
I feel like this is a bigger staple than a lot of other things that people talk about.
Yeah.
Like maybe American Psycho, and because I know that's like a dude bro movie,
right.
But like those are gonna fade out to some extent, and I don't think this will.
I mean, I feel like they're so different that I have no idea.
That's true. There were different crowds.
Yeah.
But that's how you evolve. I mean, you get into film through something. A lot of people do get into it from American Psycho and Fight Club.
Yeah.
And that's fine. They're not bad movies. They're just different staples. They're more of a initiation. Not that this is super deep into getting into film. It's a pretty obvious one to watch.
Yeah. I'd say so. It just has like a very, I don't know. I'm glad you wanted to watch it because I am glad that I saw it. It just made me sad and feeling a little unhopeful for the future, you know?
Well, last episode was the B movie, so we had to balance it out.
That's true.
At some point.
But I don't know. We'll see how the upcoming episodes, how they fare.
Next one should be fun. I think we know what the next one is. So that should be okay and fun. We should be alright until after the Oscars. Right, yeah.
After the Oscars, I think that's when we're going to be doing our Fellini.
No promises.
But no promises, yes.
They will be done. It's not, I don't know when they'll be out.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, the specific one, what did you rate it?
I rated Bicycle Thieves a 9 out of 10 because, I mean, I feel like my 10s, I've said this before.
Said in the Stalker episode.
Yeah. They're just... It didn't make me cry. That was, I think that's...
that was it.
That was the thing, I think. It didn't make... It was close, but it didn't. No cigar.
I didn't cry, but that doesn't... I don't know. It's like on the low 10 for me. Because I do throughout a lot of it. If it ended at different points, I'd probably give it a 9. But the 10 comes when the ending comes.
Yeah. No, that ending's really good. I think that's probably the best part of the movie.
Yeah, the ending is so good that you just... It kind of wraps up everything. Like, you gotta wait to the end for it to wrap up. It's not one of those endings that go on a little longer than they should. This ends pretty perfectly.
Yeah, because we have, like, before it, he's at his breaking point in terms of desperation. And so you see his kind of internal struggle with potentially stealing a bike so that he can have the job still. And, you know, he's like grappling with the fact that, like, his bike was stolen. Does he want to steal somebody else's bike? Like, is it worth it? What's the ramifications, you know?
I think at that point he in his head, it just formulates that the only way to do what he planned on doing, right? The extra time, the $800 a week, all the is to steal the bike. Like, that's his last option. He did not want to do it, right? And that's like what you understand from the other character stealing. Maybe he didn't want to do it, but that was his last option. Because he says he had a clean record. No one that knows him would even believe that he did it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same for the Ricci family. There's no way they would believe that he did it, but he had to do it.
Yeah.
Because he tried everything to do it legally and ethically, but that didn't work.
Yeah, and there was the line that I thought about when he went to the police, where they're trying to go to a meeting, and one police officer says to the one that's helping take the case down, like, well, we need to go. Is it anything important? And the police officer says, no, just a bike. It's just a bike.
Yeah.
So to, like, the police officer, you know, it's inconsequential.
Well, it should be for everyone, right? Like, it's a bike. We can't have our force handle that.
Yeah, but to him, like, that's the bike is everything. It's literally everything. It's the only thing that's going to help him provide for his family. That's in any type of meaningful way. This job provided, I think it was a bi-monthly salary plus a housing allowance. Like, it was a good job.
Yeah, it was a great job. Even now, that would be a pretty good job. It's it's like working for the government in a way. I think he says it's a city job. I would assume that's the same as working for the government.
Yeah.
It's pretty, I mean, they take care of you as much as they can.
Yeah.
And they're hard to come by. Other people were in the line yelling that they wanted that job. They got a bike. They could do it too.
Yeah.
So, it was a great job. He lost everything he could have had. And we don't really know what happens to him after. We can pretend it's good.
Yeah, we can pretend that, you know, they have enough money to maybe
like,
buy
oh no, the bike, it's back.
Oh, look at that.
Just popped up. Go figure.
Yeah, but I did think about that line when it came up, because it was like, well, of course it means nothing to you, but to somebody that has nothing, it means everything. You know.
And I was just like, another great detail of this, which I mentioned before, is that this is being told as it's happening in real life, which I think makes it even more impactful, because you know a lot of people in that screen were struggling.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, fun fact, someone in that screen was Sergio Leone, that he showed up as one of the priests after the kid falls. One of the, I guess they're speaking German. Sergio Leone was assistant director for this.
Huh.
So he turned out to have a huge career.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
But I think that's all for this episode.
Yeah, don't forget to follow us, and, different things you can do on YouTube. You can leave a comment, you can like, you can subscribe. Apple Podcast, you can leave a rating. You can leave a rating on Spotify as well now. And that would really help.
So, we'll see you next time.